few things that can help are what are called rhythmic movements. So if you're laying in bed and the feet burning happens, and my kids just do this, and if you have grandkids or you're still around kids, you may notice that kids just naturally do this. But it's quite calming for the nervous system, so when you're having a pain response, you know, being able to calm the nervous system is quite important. So, and some of you might just naturally already do this, but rocking yourself. So either rocking yourself this way, right? So you're going forward and back, can be quite soothing. If you're a belly person and you like to be on your belly, then rocking yourself this way. Those movements go right to our nervous system quite quickly. And so those would be two movements that if you're in bed and that's happening, that I would explore.
What was happening?
The burning pain of the feet when you're trying to fall asleep.
So it would be a bit of distraction by rocking the rest of the body.
Yeah, you could call it a distraction. It's another input into the nervous system at the same time as the pain.
Yeah.
So then the nervous system and the brain get to recognize both. Some of you might notice that you can hear your clock, right, when you're in those situations. So if you can focus on either breathing in a rhythmic sound or rhythmic movement. So speaking of sound and movement, because vibration is a movement. I mean, you've all danced, you've all experienced music where it's just like kind of takes you over in a sense, right? And definitely takes us back to whenever we've ever heard that song, and we can actually feel that in our body. So let's just play with some sound and vibration. Again, I mean, with my kids, I just kind of lucked upon it. Any of you that have had kids or have grandkids around, you know when you're putting to bed fussy, wriggling, I'm not going to go to sleep, baby. It's that rhythmic tap and rock, and it's also the vibration of, most of us will make a sound, right? Like whether it's A, B, or whatever it is, or sing a lullaby, but there's some kind of sound and vibration. So we're going to just come so that you're sitting and you can feel your sit bones. Your feet can be flat on the floor. I think the stairs are short enough for all of us. And then we're going to inhale through our nose, and our exhale is going to be like this. So I'll just demonstrate one, and then we're going to do about 5 breaths like this. Ha, la, 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 la. I want you to see if you can feel your exhale down through to the seat of your chair. Okay?
Feel the vibration all the way
Feel the vibration
to your body.
all the way down to your bum. Okay, so let's breathe in. Let's go again. Let's go one more time. Okay.
I was at a doctor's appointment yesterday and she had me doing that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I'd like to get her
I
name.
need to lift my leg louder, breathe and let noise out.
That's cool. So the sound and vibration is, again, like when we're in a pain response, we contract and we get small, and we typically will want to internally rotate, kind of fetal position, curl into ourselves. So making sound is a great way to do just that, to open up. So it could be like that. It could be if you're a singer, like sing often, sing loud. If you're not a singer, Another,
Relax.
yeah, another one to play with is just called a bee breath. So you'll inhale through your nose and then make the sound of a bee. So there's like some vibration at the back of your throat and you're going to make like a buzzing noise through your ears. So you'll breathe in. Breathe in. Now this time I want you to buzz, but with your lips closed. So it might be more of a so teeth apart, lips closed, right? One more. So those are both ways to vocalize, but the vibration, as some of you may have felt, it's great for our vocal cords, it's great for releasing tension up here. So again, if earlier you noticed you were this breather, then instead of beating yourself up every time you notice that you do this, just do a couple of vocalizations. Whichever one had you experience less tension through the vocal cords in the throat, to balance it out. Just balance it out. Yeah. Okay, is that helpful? And then the sound and vibration also, it affects our core because the diaphragm releases tension. If the diaphragm has tension, the pelvic floor has tension. So they're all connected. So if in sitting, just notice your breath. Don't change it, just kind of notice how it's moving, notice how your belly's moving, your ribs are moving. Now what I want you to do is squeeze your butt as tight as you can. And what did you do to your breath? Stop breathing. Okay? So if we're clenching through the bottom, these guys stop moving. So now come back to your breath again. And now I want you to see red, like you are spitting, angry, clench your jaw, clench your fists. And what happened to your breath? Stopped. Okay? And you might have felt something down in the basement too. Because if the breath stopped, the pelvic floor stopped moving. It's all connected. So the better timing, rhythm, and coordination we have in that system, the better the flow and communication of all of our tubes and vessels. Nerves, circulation, lymph. That's kind of the base of it. So really, it boils down to, I mean, I offered some tools today, but any tools that you're finding that have you feel easier in your breath, feeling more spacious and light in your body, do those things. If you're thinking X is weak and I need to do Y, and in doing Y, you feel constricted or braced or gripped, it's not helping. It's not helping. Yeah.
Sounds, with the shoulder injuries.
Yeah.
You hang on to it,
Yes.
and you're not breathing as much as.
Yeah, so one of the tools that you could use is that sideline with the roll, for sure. And then when you're on sideline on that roll, you can start to explore some movements of this arm. Right, like right while you're laying down, or it could be here and you're playing with protraction and retraction of the shoulder blade. And my website has tons of free videos.
Bit by bit.
Yeah, Bit by Bit Bodyworks. Yeah, and I'll leave cards on the table.
What is it?
Bit by Bit Bodyworks.
.ca?
.com. .ca I own too, so it'll all go to the same place. But under sample bits, there's 5 to 10 minute videos that just show you some different ways to get the hips moving, the shoulders moving, the spine moving, that you can do in the comfort of your own home.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there any other questions? So in terms of core, what I will say about core is breathe. Like work with your breathing. Work with your easy breath. Work with getting the intercostal muscles moving, getting tension out of the diaphragm with vocalization, and you're on your way. The key is the core, the way it is designed and the way that I kind of view it, is we want a responsive and dynamic core. And so if that's what we're looking for, then that's how we need to train it. So think of it in terms of a tennis player. If I am setting my core to then do X, Y, Z, right, then I'm training my core for me to have to load a program in order for it to work. Does that make sense? So then in the game of tennis, if I've set up to get the backhand shot and it's short, there's no way now I can change my body position and get up and get that shot in time. And so your core is the same. So the way I kind of explain it is, when I was doing things that had me like, engage the core, now go into a plank, or engage the core and do a lunge, or those type of things, then I'd be down putting one of my kids' shoes on, and another kid would jump on me, and I would go over, because guess what? I didn't have the warning to go brace the core, which is really what I was doing. And so then I got knocked over. So then when I started kind of just move without loading the program. And as my movement got better, there was one day I was bent over setting the table or something, and Henry, he's wild, jumped off a chair like and spider monkeyed me out of nowhere, and I was like, oh my gosh, like my core just did what it was supposed to do. And I didn't go over like a sack of hammers, which is really what you guys want to be doing, because with the feed and the losing sensation, when you're walking, if you're doing everything from a place of engaging the core, then when you lose your footing, you better hope you have enough time between losing the footing and the ground to engage your core. Right? Otherwise, you want to have been doing stuff so that your core goes, I know where I am in space and time, I know what to do, and does what it needs to do to give you that second to find your footing again.
So it's automatic.
So it's automatic, it's organic.
So it's not so much the idea of strengthening the core, it's getting responsive and dynamic.
Yes, so it's all about timing. It's all about timing and core.